Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome again. I hope you had a great weekend, that you're about to have a great week, all of those things. Let's just go ahead and dive right into this. Unless you've been sleeping under a rock, the Senate has passed a $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill. House Democrats plan final approval on Tuesday. And this is a bipartisan effort. I mean, where are we? Somewhere near $5 trillion printed out of thin air in the last year. This is insane. This is insane. It's unsustainable. I mean, all right, you know what this is really making me think about? This is the inverse of a time in my life when I just want to share this story. So in 2012, I made something like $28,000. I was transitioning into a new phase of life. I was struggling to find a good job, and so I bounced around different sales jobs. And then I finally found a good job at the end of 2012 to where I could, the earnings potential was legitimately just off the charts. And so 2012, I made $28,000. 2013, I was working my butt off at this job. I made $26,000 in 1 month. And you talk about a reverse of fortune. It's like the difference between 2012 and 2013 was night and day. But then what happened? I got that paycheck, that $26,000 paycheck. And I saw what, I'm sure you could guess what I saw. I saw half of that paycheck was gone. Taxes. And I felt like I got punched in the gut. And as much as I tried to replicate that drive that got me to that $26,000 paycheck, it was just gone. From there on out, it was gone. Like I didn't make anywhere near that amount in the following weeks and months, but I tried. I tried to work. I tried to work hard. I couldn't replicate that initial drive, that hunger that got me there. And so I'm seeing something similar on the inverse here. It's like, if you've been following this channel, I'm married with 5 children. So getting $1,400 per person in the household, what is that? It's $9,800. And a $3,600 child tax credit increased from $2,000. I mean, you want to talk about that's excuse me, that's pretty close to $26,000 right there. And, enough about my sob story, but what is this doing for me? This is as hard as I'm trying to be driven, to be motivated, this is disincentivizing me to work. And not only that, from a bigger picture, what this is doing to the economy, to the long-term sustainability of the economy, trust in the US dollar, I do not celebrate this. I would, if I could choose right now, if it was just like I was the czar or whatever, I would nix all of this, despite the fact that I am in a position where I'll benefit, because this is unsustainable, guys. This is unsustainable. And I know it's not only happening in the United States, it's happening all over the world. This easy money, it's a myth. And here's what's happening. This is becoming inevitable. Why? Usually when stimulus happens like this, when it's passed, this is a boost to the stock market. If you're watching this video, my guess is that you've already looked at the stocks right now, and you see the bloodbath is continuing, especially on the Nasdaq. And so what's going on? Why is this happening when the Senate, when the US government passes stimulus, that causes the stocks to jump up in prices? Well, here's something to keep your eyes on. This has become inevitable for me. This is my first time talking about it on the channel, but I have to talk about it. So 10-year Treasury yield. The 10-year Treasury yield has risen to 1.6% after the Senate passes the stimulus package. So the question is, why is the 10-year bond rising? There are 2 possible explanations. One is a fantastic one that they're going to be feeding down our throats as much as possible, and the other one is the cautionary one, the fear that is causing in my opinion, causing this sell-off. And so you need to decide for yourself what is going on is this a sign of recovery? That's the positive outlook on this. Or is this a sign that hyperinflation is here and it's getting out of control? I honestly don't know. And I want to be honest with you about that. I don't know. Because I've seen this rodeo before, and I've been wrong before. But if you ask people who are heavy into crypto, like me, my peers or the people that I listen to, they would tell you, no doubt, this is a sign of hyperinflation. Let me show you a chart to explain to you what I'm talking about here. So look at the last few months here. I'm going to make myself smaller real quick. Look at these last few months. All right, up until November, there was a trend line from November of 2018 to November of 2020 that the treasury yield was holding under this line. And then November of 2020, it started breaking through that resistance, and all of a sudden, that looks like the beginning of a potential parabolic rise in the bond yield. And the Fed, what they try to do to keep interest rates low is that they try they buy treasuries. And so what that buying of the treasuries does is that pushes the interest rates lower. And so we're seeing this rise. Is this to be expected? Is this a sign that things are recovering? Or is this a sign that things are getting out of control and even the Fed can't control it? And so you know what the Fed's going to say. In fact, Janet Yellen, former Fed chair, what's her interpretation of this? Yellen says higher treasury yields signaled recovery, not inflation. Shocking. If you've watched this channel, you know my feelings on Janet Yellen. I tend to believe the opposite of what she says. This is a very short article, but here we go. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen on Friday said higher long-term Treasury debt yields were a sign market participants were anticipating a stronger recovery, not of increased inflation concerns. You need to do your own research. You need to make your own judgments. I have been talking and thinking about hyperinflation for over 10 years. The thing that makes it difficult for me to acknowledge that we are entering this stage of hyperinflation is simply that I would have expected this to happen 10 years ago, and it hasn't happened yet. There's been regular inflation, but nothing to the point of Weimar Germany, of Venezuela, of Argentina. And so I don't know. The signs to me point to the fact that we are going to see a rapid decrease in the value of the dollar. But I can't pull the trigger. I just can't pull the trigger on that yet. And that's just me. I know everyone else who shares my mindset would say, yeah, we're here. Hyperinflation is here. So figure it out for yourself. And I do want to share why is Nasdaq crashing again, and why is the S&P, why is the Dow struggling so much? I shared on Friday a hypothesis that has something to do with GameStop, and it's interesting to me. Here we go again. Everything is down except for GameStop. And I'm wondering, 2 weeks ago, GameStop was at $40 a share. How shocked would you have been to find that GameStop pre-market at least is $143 a share right now? And it just keeps climbing. So here's scenario number 3. Again, why is this sell-off happening? 1, because we're recovering and things are great. Things are just getting so much better. Can you feel it? Can you feel it in the air? Or 2, is it because of hyperinflation? Or 3, is it because of GameStop? And there is a scenario in my mind where I see what's going on with GameStop right now, and I'm thinking maybe this has something to do with it. Maybe this infinity glitch that's happening because of short interest being too high, maybe 10,000 is not a meme. I would be unbelievably excited with my 69.42 shares. I'm close. I have 69 shares. And actually, no, I bought 2 more shares on Friday. So I have 71 shares. And for those shares to one day soon equal $10,000 a share, yeah, I'd be ecstatic. But I am going to be reactionary with GameStop. That has been my stance after my poor prediction history with what would go on with the price. It's more wait and see for me, but I am very curious about this week. I am even more curious about next week. And oh my goodness, I have a feeling, for those of us holding GameStop, that something crazy is about to happen. But I don't know. And maybe the fact that I have a feeling that something's crazy going to happen, maybe the opposite is now going to happen because I've just been so wrong about GameStop. But man, this is crazy. One of those things is causing a sell-off right now. And GameStop, the fact that that's a possibility, it just blows my mind. That yes, that is a possibility. That GameStop could be the cause of all this, that the institutional money, that they know what's coming with GameStop and they're abandoning ship and maybe getting into GameStop. I don't know. Anyway, I don't have much else to cover today. I do want to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has not struggled at all since that Fed announcement. I mean, here we are. If you're following my mouse here, this is where Bitcoin was, 47.5 or so, when the Fed announced that they were injecting another 1.9 trillion into the economy, and it has only bounced. And same for Ethereum. Ethereum has bounced as well. As Ethereum's looking very nice since then. I mean, $150 increase since that announcement. And so we are entering a phase of Bitcoin. Let me show you this chart here. I am curious now. The red line here, since this is post-halving, the red line is where we are right now. And the light blue line was 2013, or 2012 to 2016, and then the dark blue line was 2016 to 2020. And so this tweet here from Plan B, the creator of the stock to flow model, says entering the fun phase. Oh my goodness. Okay, Bitcoin entering the fun phase. And so if you look at 2013, look at that sharp parabolic rise. And that's right around where we are. If you look at 2017, not as sharp, but certainly parabolic, that rise. Just, man, crazy. So the people I've been following, I'm on record as saying that $100,000 next month is in play. I've shared sources that say 270,000 by July is in play. We'll see, but if we're going to go by previous halvings, we are entering a phase right now with Bitcoin where we are going to see some rapid growth. So we'll see what that looks like. I mean, there's two stock to flow models. There's the original one that predicted that Bitcoin would level off around $100,000 this year. And then there's the updated stock to flow model, this dark green line here, that predicted that Bitcoin would level off around $288,000 this year. So where are we going? We'll see. I mean, we have been following the stock to flow model like clockwork. I mean, honestly, both of them. We've been following them like clockwork. So I expect, I'm on record again, $200,000 Bitcoin. You know where my stimulus money is going? If I gave you one guess as to where I'm putting my stimulus money, I think a large majority of you would hit the nail on the head. It starts with a B. It ends with an itcoin. So Bitcoin at $50,000, I am unfazed. We are going much higher. So as soon as I get that check, transferring to BlockFi. Sign up for BlockFi if you haven't yet. Referral link in the description. Going to BlockFi, putting that money into Bitcoin. Don't care. I don't care where it is at that time. If it's at 75,000, I will be buying Bitcoin. If it's at 100,000, I will be buying, you guessed it, Bitcoin. So we'll see. This next month, these next 2 months are going to be crazy. 2 months from now, we will be looking at under 50K Bitcoin as like the Stone Age. So buckle up. Here we go. But that is all I have for today. The 10-year yield was such a big thing. The stimulus was a big thing. The Nasdaq crashing. It's like I'm just trying to wrap my head around what's going on right now, and I don't have all the answers. And I'm trying. So I would love to hear your thoughts as to what's going on with the stock market. Do you think it's GameStop? Do you think it's inflation, hyperinflation? But if it was hyperinflation, wouldn't that mean that the prices would rise? Or is it just the beginning of hyperinflation, and when hyperinflation comes, those prices are just going to go out of control? I don't know. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comment section what you think, and buy Bitcoin. But anyway, I hope you have a great week. That is it for today. Peace.